Hi everyone, today I want to give you a short update about my channel, my plans, and what you can expect here in the future. So you may know that if you're here very often, well, I do mainly Diablo content. I started in Diablo 3, I've been covering that game for nearly a decade at this point, and we also obviously went pretty ham on Diablo 4 so far. Personally, I'm still a pretty big Diablo 4 enjoyer. For example, lately they released the Gauntlet that I'm also like trying out and trying to compete in and stuff like that. But it also is just not really going all that well. Personally, I'm kind of like, done with the existing content in Diablo 4, and I guess a lot of people kind of feel the same. And well, what they have been adding so far is just not really all too crazy. So yeah, I do enjoy, making builds and leveling up stuff and, competing and all that. But ultimately, I'm kind of in the waiting room for more stuff. Now, Season 4 is around the corner, and I expect that to be a pretty big turnaround for the game. I expect a lot of people coming back to the game that have already quit in the past. And let's see how that will go. At least from the preview they have given us, there was like a preview to content creators like a few months ago. Basically everyone saw that and it looked really cool, but I don't really have any update on it. I don't really know what it's going to be like in the end. It was mostly a concept that we saw. So let's wait and see on the PTR. So in the next 2 weeks or something, I guess we're going to see that. But in a bit more of a long-term perspective, I guess I might actually move my channel away from like more this exclusive Diablo content and just branch out a bit more in ARPGs in general. So you may know that, for example, I have this wudijo PoE channel here that I made, I don't know, 2-3 years ago or something like that. The original plan was to kind of keep the Diablo content separate from the PoE content and just have this channel here on the side. But in the end, I never really did that much of it. I released like a few build guides and they actually went pretty well and all that stuff. And I do like PoE quite a bit. But ultimately, I kind of just like focus my content creation on Diablo. And here's my main channel. We actually had almost 200k, so thank you very much for that. I'm hoping to break that very soon. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I will probably just branch out more on my main channel and actually close this PoE channel that I have. So I guess most people are not even aware that this exists. And I also haven't uploaded anything in like a year or something there on the PoE channel. So that will probably just like go away, and if anything I'll probably branch out in separate like types of content for different channels, so the clip channel or something like that, but I have no plans for that currently. Before we continue with the video, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Displate. If you are a regular viewer of mine, you will have certainly seen them before, and that's because they sponsored me in the past and they never left. Displates are these metal posters that you can easily mount on your wall without any tools required. In fact, it's so easy I can do it while recording my guide. All it takes is your own 2 hands and you can just take it on and put another one there. Now, obviously this is going to stay a Diablo channel, so Mummy Lilith is coming back. But they have thousands and thousands of amazing artworks and designs. This is just another one that I have here. And you can find any topic that you're interested in and hang them on your wall. These displays come in different sizes. So for example, here's a small one and a medium one. So you can see that here. And there's also a quadruple XL version basically. And they're wrapped in foil and they have everything you need attached here on the back. This is the protective leaf that you put on the wall so it leaves no marks. You can just peel off this layer with your hands and then stick it there. And this is the magnet. It also has a sticky layer that you can just pull off and then you put it on top of the protective leaf. And this is where you're gonna hang your display in the end. And these displayed metal posters also feel like high quality. They have smooth round edges so you can't hurt yourself. And of course they're easy to handle, easy to clean, and you can swap them out all the time. So just putting it a little bit back. And if that convinced you, you can use my link in the description or in the pinned comment below to shop for your own displays. They currently have a special offer running. This sale runs until March 18th, and I have my own collection down here that you can also check out if you'd like. So for example, this Lilith Diablo poster is right here. You can click on this. There are these different categories that I have created. Here are these fox masks, for example, and there's tons of posters that you can browse of all kinds. You see this here: maps, animals, nature, gaming. There's basically something for everyone. They have literally thousands of these designs. Really cool stuff. They ship these displays from EU to anywhere in 4 to 5 days, and they arrive in these little boxes. You can just open them and, as I mentioned, immediately attach them to the wall with the sticker at the back. So check out the collection now, grab your discount, and let's go back to the video. But if you have been around in the last few weeks, then you have probably seen some of my last Epoch content, for example. This is just a game that I didn't really cover before. I made like a few videos before launch, like, 1 or 2 years ago or something. But ultimately, I was focused on Diablo, but it was actually really a breath of fresh air, I gotta say. And I think a lot of people feel the same. And well, some of these videos actually went really well. My build guide, for example, here, and some other guides that I put out there. And I was actually very pleased with both the results here on YouTube, on my streams, and just the game in general. So it was just fun trying something else. And it's cool to see that the ARPG landscape as a whole is evolving. And I kind of want to be part of that in the future as well. So this means that in the future, I will probably be covering Last Epoch as well, and potentially also more games in a similar genre and in the space coming out. There are some things on the horizon that I definitely want to dive into at least a little bit. For example, this No Rest for the Wicked game is coming out in like a month or something. So this is definitely something I would like to try at the very minimum. It's like a bit Souls-like and isometric. And then, of course, we have Path of Exile 2 coming. So this is kind of like the big fish here, I guess. And, well, I have not really done that much content creation in PoE 1. I have played the game quite a bit. I've actually streamed it quite a bit as well on Twitch, but not so much in terms of like YouTube content, for example. So here I have like 3,500 hours, and then, I don't know, probably another 1,000 PoB alone or something. So I've done my fair share of PoE grinding, and just lately I have been, just focused on other games. So I have done most of that like, years ago, basically. But with PoE 2 coming out, I expect there's going to be another big surge in both ARPG interest for like myself and for like, I guess, the audience. And that means for me, I'm also blast PoE 2. Like, I'm really excited for the beta. So in June, we're gonna get the closed beta. So yeah, I hope that I can participate there and then do as much content as possible. And my long-term goal is to kind of get to the point where I am with Diablo 4 in terms of like the competitive space as well. So I definitely want to try to do like world first races, gauntlets, all that kind of stuff. So this is something you can expect from me going into PoE 2. In general, there are a lot of people that have this attitude that you can only really like one of the games, and I see this every day on my streams, for example, and frankly, it is somewhat annoying, but this is the life I chose. I can deal with it. It's okay. But I don't really feel that I have to choose only one of them. And especially with like the ARPG landscape just being so diverse in the upcoming future, I think it's going to be great to actually jump between those different games and, do some Diablo here, do some PoE there, do some Last Epoch, some Torchlight Infinite is also another game that I play here and there, for example, on the season starts. And there's more stuff coming. And also even some indie games coming up. So lately I played like Dwarven Realms, for example. It was kind of funny. I guess the two main games for me will stay Diablo 4 and PoE 2, which are just like the two biggest out there as well. Diablo 4 is just, massive, just like not really great currently, but I do expect that, long term it's gonna just improve. Like Diablo 3, for example, has improved massively over time and has gotten a pretty stable audience over time. Although it was never really as large as, for example, the PoE crowd in terms of content creation. But on the other hand, yeah, we'll see how it will go. I'm somewhat positive about the future for Diablo 4, but it's just kind of like, somewhere in the future. And in that case, I'll, probably shift my focus towards PoE 2 a lot as well. Now, with Season 4 coming, of course, I'm going to be blasting the PTR. I'm going to be pumping out those guides. I'm going to be experimenting, I'm going to try to stay at the top with like the racing and all that stuff, of course. But yeah, we'll see like how much long-term content there is. I do have high hopes for the expansion as well. So that is going to be like end of the year, they said. So I guess that will be Season 6. So we're going to have like Season 4 now, the big, itemization changes and stuff. And then whatever Season 5 is. And I guess then it's actually time for expansion already. So it's actually kind of close. And well, that could be a pretty big thing. On the other hand, it's also going to be colliding, in the schedule very much with PoE 2 releasing potentially late this year as well. So there's maybe going to be you know, very little time between them. And it's going to be very busy towards the end of the year for sure. So we'll have to see where exactly it will balance out with, you know, covering this or that game, and, you know, how the interest is, how I also want to play, you know, this or that game. But just as a bit of like a, you know, bigger picture of what is going to happen in like the next year or two, I guess this is what you can expect. Now, I don't think that PoE 2 is gonna like outright just kill Diablo 4, for example, or so. A lot of people are saying that, like, you know, this is the D4 killer and so on. But PoE is still PoE, and we'll have to see like how exactly that's gonna go. We also have to see, like, you know, what are the rough edges with PoE 2 as well when it comes out. Now, I do trust GG a bit more to kind of like smooth that out. If like, you know, just balancing, bug fixing and all that kind of stuff. And also just like bringing more content into the base game from the start, especially with like a really long beta period. But yeah, who knows how it's gonna be exactly and how accepted it will be. In any case, I think there are really exciting times ahead, and I hope they're gonna stay with me for this journey. So as I said, you know, I wanna be, you know, blasting those ARPGs, but not just with this Diablo focus. I wanna go more into other games. I wanna go, you know, more into PoE in particular. And well, I will probably be closing down my dedicated PoE channel and just put everything here on the main channel. And that also means that for what you can expect in like the immediate future is that, well, for now we're going to do some more D4. I kind of want to do a bit more things in Last Epoch, but, you know, like the patch 1.0, the first cycle, you know, it's kind of losing steam for me as well. And I might do like 1 or 2 more builds or something, and kind of like focus now on the Gauntlet and the upcoming PDR. And then, well, I think end of the month or so, we're going to have PoE 1 launch as like the last leak, I guess, before PoE 2 beta comes out. So I might be trying that and see how it goes. The teaser they put out lately was kind of cool. And yeah, well, I think mid-April, I think 16th or so is like the Diablo 4 season start. So mega blasting there, of course, with like the new itemization changes and so on. I guess that will be extremely cool. And then, well, it's like roughly 1.5 months of D4 or so. Maybe I'm gonna sneak in a bit of variety. Elden Ring DLC is coming, so I might do another playthrough or something. But in the grand scheme of things, we're working towards the PoE 2 beta, which is, I think, 8th of June or something, or 7th of June. So somewhere here. And this is gonna be like full PoE mode from that point, basically, for probably quite a while, because it's like a full new game to explore. There's gonna be a lot of stuff to cover. So this is kind of like where we'll go soon. So I hope you enjoyed this little update from my side. Let me know what you think, and just like what you would like to see from me as well. Just give me a bit of feedback maybe in the comments. I'm gonna go through them and, you know, just get a bit of a picture of, you know, the general mood, and yeah, what do you think? So yeah, let me know any thoughts. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Hope that you're gonna stay with me, and, you know, we're gonna have a great journey ahead of us in the ARPGs. I think the next years are gonna be the golden age, I think. With, you know, all these big titles and, you know, smaller games as well coming out on the side. There's going to be a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff to blast, and I'm really excited for it. So hope you are too. Hope you like this video, and see you guys next time.